What's going on, everyone? It's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you another team review today. We're keeping it rolling, baby. Daily uploads all the way to round one. Today we have the Geelong Cats. But before we get into that, let's see. Let me tell you where you can find me on the social. So you can find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, the Breakevens, and of course here on YouTube, the Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe to all those social media platforms for more AFL Super Coach content. Also posting FPL, BBL, NBL. Was it NFL and NBA? It's the one I always forget. And if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, we did the first 6 teams from Adelaide to Fremantle in alphabetical order. Make sure you go check them out. Heaps of information there for you. And hopefully you like it. So let's get into the Geelong Cats. So they finished third last season in 2024. Very surprising because everyone wrote them off because they've got an average age of 56. But a few players have retired, so their age is down to probably about 38 now. So let's get into the ins that they got over preseason and the draft. So ins, Killian Burke was a Category B rookie. Lennox Hoffman, pick 66. Xavier Ivisic was picked up in the rookie draft. Caton Matofai Forbes or Mellowfi Forbes. I can't read my writing. Anyway, he was picked 69. Jack Martin was delisted from Carlton and he was picked up as a free agent. Jacob Moliere was picked 52. Sorry if you see me looking this way, it's where my notes are. He was picked 52. Joe Pike was picked up in the rookie draft. Jay Polkinghorne was picked 44. Patrick Rechko was picked up in the rookie draft as well. And Bailey Smith, the big one, was traded from the Bulldogs. So just quickly going through that, I don't know much about the rookies, if I'm being honest. But Bailey Smith is a big one coming back from an ACL. And Jack Martin could be quite serviceable in that Gary Rowan role, which we'll get to in a second. So let's go through the outs. Phoenix Foster was delisted. Joe Furphy was also delisted. Mitch Hardy was also delisted. Tom Hawkins retired. Emerson Jecker was delisted. Oscar Murdoch was delisted. Brandon Parfit was delisted. Gary Rowan, as I mentioned, was delisted. James Willis was delisted, and Zach Tui, the Irishman, has retired. So you look, Tui and Hawkins, they've been around for a while, very serviceable for Geelong. But yeah, on the older side, Gary Rowan, he'd play his 1-2 fair share of games a season. And Brendan Parfit, who was most likely the sub in most games. So a few outs, but I think they're going to back in the squad they have, and they've picked up Bailey Smith and Jack Martin, who could fill a couple of those roles anyway. So let's get into the pre-season news. There wasn't a whole lot coming out of Geelong, so this part will be quite quick. But first up is Bailey Smith is absolutely tearing it up. The big thing on him is his work rate right now. He's working hard defensively and offensively, playing that inside outside role that we are used to seeing him play. So he's very popular in Supercoach sides right now, and for good reason. Got him at a cheaper price. So hopefully he can stay fit and hopefully become some sort of primo for us in Supercoach. Next is Toby Conway. rumors going around that he possibly will be taking the number one ruck role off Reece Stanley. Not 100% sure if that's going to happen yet, but I think they're just a bit over. Reece Stanley doesn't provide much, so bring the younger guy through. So that is something to look out for. The only problem is at the moment he's on a modified program. So all this preseason news came at the end of December 2024. So things could have changed, but at that stage he was on a modified program. So keep an eye out because it could be a cheaper ruck for our teams. Tom Stewart is training in the midfield. Take that what you will. Do you want him playing midfield or would you prefer him behind the ball? And another year older. So, yeah, the days of Tom Stewart going 110 could be over. And lastly, Jack Martin, he's fit. And it looks like, as I said, he could be taking Gary Rowan's role. He just needs to stay fit. Injuries hurt him at Carlton, sort of went out of favour because he wasn't playing regularly because of these injuries. He's gone over to Geelong, which a lot of players have come over to Geelong and have just stayed fit. So hopefully he can be the same because I'm pretty sure he's 150k. So he'd be pretty good if we could have him on our benches, I would say. So that's all the preseason news. As I said, there wasn't a whole lot there. They're keeping their cards close to their chest, the Cats. So let's go over to the Super Coach selections. And in the primos, we have Max Holmes, 533k, defender mid. Is he going to keep his halfback role? Is he going to get more midfield time? It's a tough one because last year it was sort of like a mini breakout, and he was pretty consistent. I'm not gonna lie, he was pretty consistent. But then I got him in, and then he didn't score 100 for the rest of the season, or there might have been one there, and that was because what's his name, Sean Manor. Sean Manor found his way back into the side, got some more mid minutes. So that meant that Max Holmes, his role changed and we didn't see the same output. So what is Holmes' role this season? Is he going to just be pure halfback or is he going to be halfback, rotate mid? Keep an eye on that because, yeah, at times you feel like he could get lost in games. So Max Holmes, just wait and see what his role is in preseason and then probably go off there. But I think at that price, there's a few better options. Tommy Stewart, 521k as a defender. Once again, what's his role? So he's been training in the midfield. Does he just stay there? But with the likes of, Bailey Smith coming in, does Cam Guthrie, does he stay fit? So wait and see what role Tom Stewart is playing in the pracky matches. It's either going to be that intercepting halfback that we're used to and love, or it's going to be pure mid. So I think we'd prefer him on that halfback just because of his age. As I said, another year. He's well in his 30s. So do we see a scoring regression? It'll be interesting to see what happens. But usually the older guys off halfback can still be quite serviceable. Just maybe their ceiling is dropped. But we know what Tom Stewart can do with the right role. So the next one is Jeremy Cameron at 466k as a forward. It'll be interesting to see his output without Tom Hawkins. So Hawkins has retired. So now Jeremy Cameron is the man up forward. they've brought in Jack Martin, who could be great at getting those crumbs. If he gets double teamed, ball goes loose. Jack Martin could be there, along with the likes of Brian Myers and co. So, being the number one guy we saw at GWS when he was younger, his output was crazy. Again, being a key forward, his scores would fluctuate. Sorry. So wait and see. I probably wouldn't start Cameron, but if he fires early and they're looking pretty strong, he could be someone that we upgrade to at some stage. So that's all the primos, only the three. Let's go through the mid-price and value picks. So first is Bailey Smith, 389K mid forward. As I said in the news, he's looking fit. His work rate is up there. He's looking strong, playing that inside-outside role, which I think will help him a whole lot. And I think at this stage, he's just a lock. Hopefully he can get through preseason unscathed and going into the season with some confidence and some momentum, so he can score well for us. Next up is Cam Guthrie, 278K mid. Can he stay fit? We saw last year, was it in the preseason games? Ball got bounced at the start of the game. He got the ball, he ran, he kicked it, and he did his hamstring. We picked him at 300 and something K last year. Now he's 278K. Do we go there again, or have we learned that this guy cannot stay fit? And if he is fit, what is his role? Does he play that full-time mid, and then maybe Tom Stewart does get to play that halfback role, or does he play on a wing? Do they try and play him forward or behind the ball and maybe, less run? Because, again, his age, he's in his 30s. So does he have that run and explosiveness in his legs? We'll have to wait and see. But definitely someone to keep an eye on at 278K. But, yeah, pretty risky in my opinion. Next is Toby Conway, 343K as a ruck. So as I alluded to before, looks like he could be taking the number one ruck role. So a number one ruck at 343K is pretty good. We also have Matt Flynn at 270 something K, I believe, as well. But what does Toby Conway score? Is he just a 90 to 95 man? Can he push upwards of 95? It'd be really interesting to see what his output is. Am I going to go there? Probably not, unless I can, I'm confident in Matt Flynn to stay fit, which is probably not going to happen. So you could have him as a flex if you have that spare money, but just wait and see. We'll move over to the rookies. Only two that I've put here, but there is one I do want to speak about. So first, Ted Closey, 119K forward mid. He played 2 games in 2024 at 119K. Does he find his way back in? Is he the new Ollie Dempsey? Is he best 22 at this stage? Probably not. He's probably, top 24, 25. So that means I think if he does play, he will start as the sub. So maybe not. Jack Martineau at 150K as a forward. Can he stay fit? Let's touch on it just a bit earlier. If he can stay fit, he's a lock because he's going to take that Gary Rowan role. And all we need from him is an average of 65 to 70. We'll take that on our bench. So he could be a really good option for our sides. The other one I want to talk about is Xavier Ivasic. I haven't put him in here, so I don't know what his price is, but I'm guessing it's 99 to 113K. Word is that he is looking good and could be working towards a debut early. Might not be round one, but they reckon he could see some games in 2024. So just keep an eye. I don't think you start him unless he, is guaranteed. But is he a sub risk? That is just the thing with all these rookies that aren't usually in like the top 10 or so. Usually it's hard to try and pick if one their best 22 and will they start as a sub. So they're always a sub risk. Okay, let's go through the fixtures and the buys. So because Geelong play in opening round, they have 2 buys. Let me get the picture up. I should have been a lot better at this, but they have the round 3 bye, which they share with Brisbane, Collingwood, and Sydney. So I've touched on this bye in the Brisbane and Collingwood videos, which you haven't seen. Make sure you go back and have a look. It's a tough bye, so your Max Holmes, Tom Stewart's, Jeremy Camerons, you probably don't want to start them early on. Bailey Smith, everyone's going to have, and it's just the one guy, so that's okay, because in the forward line, you don't really have anyone from Brisbane that you would go. Same with Collingwood and Sydney, probably the same. So to have that one guy in round 3 not play, you can easily get someone in to replace him. And they have the round 16 bye, which is, again, Brisbane, and they share it with Essendon and the Giants. So something you've got to think about later. How many of the Lions, Bombers, and Giants guys are you going to have in? And can you pick these Cats guys up after that round 16 bye? So, not great buys for Geelong. Let's go through the fixture. So in opening round, they play the Lions away, but it doesn't count for Supercoach, so that's okay. In round 1, though, they have Freo at home. They have the Saints away. Round 2. Round 3, they have the bye. Round 4, they play the D's at home. Round 5, it's Gather Round, but they're playing the Crows, so obviously that's away. And in round 6, they play the Hawks at the MCG. So, thinking Supercoach and bypassing the Lions in round 1. Freo at home, they could do well. Tough midfield. Saints, they could do really well against. D's, what are they going to bring to the table? The Crows, it is in Adelaide. They're looking to improve. So it might be a tough one there. And Hawks, they're looking good. So again, a tough one. So probably a 50-50 start for Geelong. The teams they play twice are the Lions, but one is in round 0. The Bombers twice, Giants twice, Port twice, Tigers twice, and Saints twice. So Tigers and Saints are good ones there. Port, GWS, and Lions are the tough ones. And Bombers, it's, again, 50-50 what side is going to show up. So not bad. Geelong, it's one of those 50-50s on a lot of these players. So it is what it is. Just keep an eye in pre-season. But if you want pre-season news, it will be coming monthly here at the Breakevens YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. But that's going to do it for today. So thank you all for watching and listening. Don't forget you can find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe for more AFL Supercoach content daily, all the way to round 1. Go check out the videos that I've done previously if you have not. And until next time, it's bye for now.